Story 1. My mom fired our housemaid because of some money I took. In 5 years ago, our housemaid got kicked out because of me and I regret it. One day I came back from school with a couple of my friends, then we decided to rent a PS4 for that day. So I needed some money, my dad wasn't home and my mother was sleeping, so I looked under one of the carpets and found some money. My mom kept it there, it was more than I needed, but said let's just take it and buy some extra stuff with it and was planning on telling mom when I get back. So when I finished playing I went back home and found my mom yelling at the maid, and when I realized it was about the money I couldn't say it was me because she would have killed me. BC, why didn't you tell me before I yelled at the poor maid? So she kicked her out. The maid really needed that job and her family too. Now after 5 years I still visit her family and bring them food to help them and haven't told anyone yet. Edit. I should have clarified that my mom never told anyone, like putting she's a thief or something on her file. She got a new job and am still a friend with their family and always trying to help them, and everybody moved on and forgot about it, so I don't think telling my mom is going to change anything. Am I right, or what it anymore? Another edit. The money wasn't that much, it's like $30 to $40. My mom didn't kick her out because of the amount, she doesn't care about it, it's about the concept of stealing. I think she put it under the carpet for special use because she doesn't usually keep cash. Another one. One of the reasons for still not telling anyone is that before the pandemic I used to be a bad student and stuff, but since then I changed my life in every section and my family is finally proud, and I think by saying this story it's going to bring me back. More context. Thanks everybody for your opinions, but I'm going to give more context. First of all, I'm not an American, if you can't see it from my English. So where I am from, having a maid doesn't mean necessarily that you're rich or something. So I'm not some rich boy. I live a normal life. And about the money and the amount, some PPL said I probably faked the amount and what I did with it, like buying drugs or something. I converted the amount to dollars from my local currency, that's why it sounds small, and drugs and drinking isn't that popular in my region. So no, I did not buy drugs, I rented a PS4, and yes, we do rent them here. And for PPL who said my mom shouldn't go the maid directly for the money, is because the maid used to take foods and some clothes without telling us, but never money or something like that. My mother never told her anything. BC, she obviously needed, so okay. When the maid left us, she just went for another family like nothing happened. Story 2. My friend doesn't want me to meet her boyfriend, but she wants to be friends with my fiance. I met my friend back in 2019 during college. We were really friends instantly and we had so much in common. But since life has moved on and we both changed, I really don't recognize her. The confident and bold girl I met isn't there anymore. My friend met her boyfriend back in 2022 and it's been horrible ever since. She has told me she thinks he's cheating on her, how emotionally abusive he is towards her, the way he screams at her, and that he encouraged her to not take birth control and that they have unprotected intimacy. So from what she told me, I never had a liking towards this guy. But they always break up just to get back together, so this guy isn't going anywhere. My friend goes from crying over what he says and does to being so happy, in a state of euphoria. It's a constant up and down of emotions. I'm engaged to the person I would love to call my soulmate. We have been together for 2 years. When we first started our relationship, my friend told me how important it is that she befriends my fiancé and that they have a good friendship. I agreed and included her in our hangouts. There have been many times I told her to let her boyfriend join us. I thought it's unfair to judge a person I never met and I should give him a chance. My friend always pushed off the idea of a double date or would say we should do it but never fall through. I know she would even go on a double date with her coworker. I thought maybe they have more in common because they work together. I only met her boyfriend once and it was very awkward. We were going shopping and she told me that her boyfriend texted her that he's cold at work. She ended up buying him a $130 jacket and we had to go drop it off to him. I tried to insist to her not to because of how expensive it is, but there was no getting through to her. She decided we had to drop it off at their work. They work at the same place. When we got there, she told me to stay in the car and I felt stupid staying in a car. I told her that's silly and if it's really a problem if I met him. She kept arguing with me that I need to stay in the car. He ended up coming out to us and I told her it's awkward if I stay here. So I ended up meeting him and he ignored her the whole time. He didn't thank her for the jacket and he kept trying to talk to me. He asked me about myself and what I'm ordering when we have dinner. It was very weird, and then after that my friend was crying in the car that he didn't thank her for the jacket and that he ignored her. For another example, I went out to dinner with her and her brother. I'm friends with him too. Last Friday. She got into a bad argument with him, and she was devastated, like no matter how much we tried to help her, she was inconsolable. After an hour, her mood changed and all was fine again. She told us she's dropping off dinner for her boyfriend. Then when we got to his place, she parked away from his house and told us it's best that we stay here. Her brother said that it's rude towards her boyfriend if we park away from his house, like it could show she's embarrassed of him or where he lives. She told her brother he's right, and of course we were told to wait in the car. For some additional information about me, my fiancé and I have to do long distance for a bit due to visa reasons. We're doing the K1 fiancé visa, so he'll be back anywhere from August-December. We have been apart since June, but I do go and visit him during my work vacations. My friend constantly mentions that when my fiancé comes back we have to go out on a double date. She said it so many times that I don't think she's excited for him to come back, rather just for her boyfriend to come out with us. I have told her I'm fine and happy to go out with them, and explained it could take a while for my fiancé to come back. She insisted she'd rather wait. She said it the other night that my fiancé needs to come home so we can double date. I asked her, why can't it be us? Why do we have to wait for him? She said that she'd rather wait for everyone can be comfortable. I don't know what that even has to do with anything. I'm perfectly fine and comfortable to go out with them, like I don't need my fiancé to have fun. The other factor is he won't be back until 6 to 8 months. My friend knows that, and when I tried explaining to her that it might take a while until he comes back, and when I told her that, she just said, well, time moves fast, and before you know it he'll be here. It just sounded stupid, so I didn't even try to carry on with that conversation. I am really confused. She always mentions wanting to double date just for it to never happen. They have been together for 2 years and I never met this guy, but she puts such an importance on being friends with my fiancé. She also double dates a lot with her coworker and their husband. Then she proceeds to tell me how amazing her double date was. I'm so tempted to ask her if she thinks I'm an idiot, and I really want to ask if she's embarrassed me or of her boyfriend. I just don't know why she makes it a big deal to have a good friendship with my fiancé, but I can't even hang out with her and her boyfriend. Story 3. AITA for ruining at a family dinner because of my golden child sister? Asshole. I, F17, have a younger sister, Emily, F16. Even though they don't say it explicitly, Emily is clearly my parents' favorite child. I can understand why they're proud of Emily. She is a straight-A student, has the lead roles in student theater, swims competitively, is popular at school, and very, very good-looking. I, on the other hand, am probably more plain. I work hard at school, but am not as outgoing or intelligent as Emily, and don't excel at any extracurriculars like she does. My parents always celebrate Emily. We have certificates of her work on the fridge, always have outings and meals to commemorate her achievements, and attend all her swim events and plays. I know my parents love me, but I don't get close to the level of attention, even when I work hard. The other night we went out with my parents, uncle, aunt, and cousins. We'd just been to one of Emily's shows, and she recently got accepted onto a summer scheme she was wanting to complete. The whole meal revolved around discussing Emily and how proud everyone was of her accomplishments. I don't think I was mentioned once. I'm usually more reserved or just bite my tongue, but midway through the meal I shouted out, maybe if you paid more attention to me and not just your golden child, you'd have more things to celebrate. Everyone just went silent, and my mom said we'd discuss this when we got home and not to ruin the meal. Emily looked shocked and close to crying. To say the rest of the meal was awkward would be putting it lightly. When we got home, my parents shouted at me for embarrassing them and said that Emily deserves to be celebrated, and that if I did something that merited celebration, I would receive the same treatment. I said how unfair this was, and nothing I do gets recognized regardless. Emily joined in and said she works hard and deserves to be recognized for that, and as the older sister, I should grow up and actually work for once if I want her success. I haven't spoken to Emily since then, and my parents are still annoyed at me for ruining the meal. AITA,